John here from B2Web, and in this video I'm going to step you through how to build a really terrific website in WordPress for your law firm. Now, this is a site that I'm going to get a client for shortly. It's pretty much done, and we've got lots of really great elements on this. Now, if this is your first introduction to WordPress and you're just starting and you haven't set up a WordPress website at all for your firm, I recommend that you start with my basic beginner tutorial course here. It's at b2web.com. You don't have to pay anything, you don't have to sign up for anything. It's all on the homepage. 18 videos, they're all split up, so they're all like, between 4 and 6 minutes long, and they step you through the real basics of like sidebars, widgets, and homepages. So go there first if this is your first time with WordPress, and then once you have a basic WordPress site up, which that course will get for you, then this video will step you through adding a lot of more advanced features to just really dress up your website and make it more professional and definitely improve your conversion rates. Okay, so we're on the home page here. The first thing I have is my telephone number for my client right there, and this shows up on every page. I like telephone numbers placed in lots of places on every page of the website because we want people to call. We have it there again. We have a button here that takes people to book a free consultation, and there it is, and they can do that right there. We have our menu bar right along the top there, and what I like about this particular theme, and I'll explain it, is this full width slideshow. I can add layers, so like I can add this image on top and buttons and so forth. A lot of slideshows won't let you actually add elements on top of it, but this one does, and that is a very, very powerful feature because you can add contact forms here, you can add different images, you can add arrows, you can do all sorts of things on top of a really great looking image, and that can just really make your website look super and convert very nicely. So now we're on the home page, and there's a lot of content on this page. I'm going to show you a lot. You don't have to use every feature that I'm using on this site. You can pick and choose what works for you. I suggest test and see what works best. So the first thing here, we have a video. You can embed a video from one of your videos from YouTube, or you can host it on Amazon S3, which is hosting, and then embed it with a video player. And I'll show you that in the back end briefly how that's set up. If you have videos, I recommend going the YouTube route, and definitely try to get traffic to your YouTube channel, and then also put those videos on your site. The next thing we see here is this little pop-up box. This pops up every time someone lands on a new page or comes to the site, and it's just a little welcome message, and it's called a pop-up. It's not as obtrusive as it's showing up and blocking the whole site, so I use it. This is something you may or may not want to use. It's totally up to you. Test it, see what works. If you just think those things are super annoying, don't use it. But when you click it here, it brings a person to the schedule a free consultation page. And this is what we want people to do, is book a free consult. So then the next section of the homepage, we've got some text. We've got a little bit about us. We've got some information about insurance. And then we have a contact us form. And you'll find this on every page of the site. I recommend, again, like the phone number, contact form on every page of the site. With WordPress, it's super easy to do. Before I carry on, WordPress, you can build a website with so many platforms, but with WordPress, once you learn how to do it, or you hire somebody who does it for reasonable prices for you and they do a good job, you can build a lot of sites. It's not that expensive, and hosting is very cheap, and the designs are very cheap. I mean, these designs here, I think a total of $150, compared to a custom design. So you can build multiple sites for your firm. If you have multiple practice areas, build multiple sites for each, a site for each practice area. I have several law firm clients, and that's exactly what I do. I build very targeted sites per practice area, and in some cases I do a specific practice area for a specific town, because many lawyers operate and target multiple towns in and around an urban area. So once you start thinking like this and you're willing to give WordPress a try, you can really expand your online presence with great looking websites that do well. Okay, so moving on, I have a map of our location, and I'll show you how we embed that there. We got maps all over this website, and now we've got a really cool. This is unique to this theme setup, which I'll show you in the back end. Um, this is a portfolio widget area or portfolio area. And typically that's reserved, mostly used by photographers and web designers. But think about it. As a lawyer, you have testimonies, you have case results, you have success results, and so forth. You can phrase it any way you like, but why not create nice looking little images, which is not hard to do. You can hire a graphic designer to do this for not a lot of money, or do it yourself with the right tool. And you can build a great little portfolio, and then these link into the specific testimonial pages if visitors really care to go there. Okay, now we've got a mistake on this page, and I'll show you how we're going to fix that. So really this is stylized to work better, but I've got my little dash the wrong way. Anyway, let's get back to the home page here, and we were on the portfolio. So you could put anything here. You could add a lot more there. We don't have to have 8. We could do just 4. We could do 12. We could do whatever number you like. So moving down, we've got another big section. We've got just a little welcome here. We could put anything in this section here. And then we've got this free gift here. This is what we call trying to get people to get onto the e-newsletter by filling in the form, and in what they get out of that is the free book that you can write your own book and come up with an ebook cover and provide it for them. And this way you can follow up with emails, whether they're automated that you set up with email autoresponder, or you can just do it yourself, however you like. The point is that you want people to contact you. You at least want their email, and preferably you like to get their telephone number, and you can follow up with them and see how you can help them out. More and more lawyers are doing this, but many lawyers do not do this, and it can be very effective. And the great thing is once you have it set up, it pretty much runs automatically. There's really nothing else to do, so it's definitely worth trying anyway. If you're going to do the automatic route, you need to set this up so that your form is set up with an email autoresponder service. And so when someone submits their email, what happens is that person gets loaded into the email software database, and you can load preloaded e-newsletters that get delivered on a scheduled basis to them. So you can keep in touch with them. You can certainly, if they provide a phone number, call them. And I forgot to mention, the book actually with the email autoresponder gets delivered automatically to them. You don't have to, every day go in and email the book. The autoresponder has it preloaded, and it just sends them a link to the download where they get the book. And then we have something I've also been developing and working on for clients. A lot of times you see, a lot of online retailers selling physical goods with great charts and graphs where they display and compare their products. And I kept finding those and seeing those, and it just occurred to me, because I do a lot of work for professional service firms, and I thought, why not implement that to profile services that are provided? Because there's more than, it's not just simply car accident claims. Those are other elements. So you can construct a table like this, or a grid, and I'll show you the tool I use. I built this in like 15-20 minutes, and I'm not a graphic artist at all. This is just using a tool and embedding it on the home page. So it's a nice graphical feature to add, and you don't have to do this. More content now, and now we've got bullet lists here. They're stylized with check marks, and it's very simple to do on this particular theme. We've got our menu, and then we have links to our social media pages. I strongly recommend, if you're not active in social media, to start, to get a Facebook page, to get Google+, to get Twitter and a YouTube channel. Only do YouTube if you're going to invest in videos. What I'm noticing when I monitor a lot of firms in big markets is the top ranking firms are active in social media, and lots of other people who are doing SEO suggest that social media activity contributes to getting better rankings, and I just can't help but see that is fact. because the top ranking firms who a couple years ago weren't ranking and other firms were, the ones that got active, daily and weekly with social media are doing really well. So it's something to consider. It's a little tricky with lawyers, how do you engage and so forth, but you just want to get your content out there, and you can do that. So I recommend it. Set those pages up and get people to them, and obviously link to it from your site. So that's our home page, and it's a lot of elements and it's a lot of content, and it's all designed to engage and get visitors to, see that you're a highly credible firm, that you'll do the job, you're competent, and get them to contact you. Okay, as an aside, when I used to practice law, and I really built up a firm very quickly with online, and I fell in love with the online stuff, so that's what I'm doing now. But for website design is important, but so is ranking. Okay, here are, I had people that would come in, and we had top rankings in Google for a lot of really good keywords, and they would say, you guys must be the best firm because you're number one in Google. So that's huge, huge, huge to keep in mind for SEO. The other thing is I had a professional photographer came in. We had some nice photos done up on the site, and the site was really nicely designed, but it did use a WordPress theme. It wasn't this theme, it was a different one. And they said, your site was just looked fantastic, and that's why I'm here. So there's no question that your site can do the selling, and it works. You just got to make a great site that really works, and a lot of elements here I think really do a nice job for that. So now that we've seen the home page, let's just take a look at some of the other key pages here. I've got a services page here. You notice I've got this banner right here. It's kind of like a subheading, and I'll show you how I did that. It's a very simple little snippet of code that I did, and it's I think it's very effective because it shows up on every page of the website except the home page. And just think, if you're looking at the page and this is what you came to as services, and there's not that image, it just doesn't quite look as good as having a nice large banner image here. And then we have our services, and here's where I put that chart again. I just embedded the code so we can do our services. I plan to do a little write-up here. And then scrolling down, look at this. I've got the free gift for the book again, and I just used the same format as I did on the home page. I just embedded the code here, and this shows up on every page of the site. So no matter where people are, they're just going to get exposed to this free gift, and they can fill in the form, and you're able to contact them and help them out with their legal issue. So moving on, another page, blog page. Set up a blog. These are not static pages, they're just blog posts. It adds content to your site. You can blog every other day, once a week. You can hire a law student to crank out some good content for you, some stuff that's really well researched. I've done that. They do great work, and it's not that expensive. As an aside, blogging and social media, you can use, it's a service called Deliver.it, DLVR.IT. And what you can basically do is you can set it up so that your blog posts are automatically sent to your Facebook page and to Twitter and to LinkedIn. So once you publish a post, it's getting blasted out to your social media. So when you wonder about how can I get active on social media and get some content out there, you can do it on autopilot as long as you're running a blog. So you're killing what, four birds with one stone right there. So and Deliver, it's free. You just sign up and you just set up your channels and you're all set. Case results, check this out. These are nice boxes, formatted boxes with checks, and I'll show you how to set those up. I could have just done straight text, but why not jazz it up a little bit? And very easily done here. No, it's just drag and drop. And again, there's our free book and testimonials. Notice that other testimonial, I had made a mistake here. Well, anyways, I got them set up. This just, you get these big quotes here. We've got a nice, a softer font, and we've got italicized. And this is just done. Using a short code, very simple, seconds to do, and it's part of this theme. Not every theme are going to have these style elements, and this one does, so it's another reason I really like it. So those are our key elements on this website that are just adding a lot of nice features. Let's jump in the back and see what's going on here. All right, so we have our theme, our Genesis framework. That's the parent. Just Genesis on its own is going to add no style. It's just basically sort of the it sets up the PHP in the background of how your WordPress website is going to function. To get our style going, we had to add a theme here, and the theme I'm using is this Grind child theme. Now it's a little bit more expensive than a lot of themes, but it's worth every penny. So you do have to buy Genesis separately. Grind is by a third-party developer, and it's just an amazing theme. If other lawyers use it, it doesn't matter, because with your own images, you're making the site your own, and that's what's so great. It really features your images and your content. So that's it for the theme. Simple to install. Now let's check out the options. You do need to set up your options. We've set up our slider, very simple to do, and then we have color options. I want blue. We have a mobile option. We want this website to display properly and optimally for mobile devices, and this theme does that. Very important. We wanted that portfolio set up. You don't have to have that portfolio. Remember where we had all our case studies and our testimonials here? You don't have to do this. In fact, you can leave any of these sections blank. It's up to you. You can totally format it and put in the content that you want. Each of these are sections, right? So this here, we've got 3 sections, columns, and here's one wide big section, and they just go on and on. The portfolio wide section, 4 columns, and there you go. And we have a logo header. Now on this theme, our header is the phone number. You can put in your logo if you like. To upload that is very simple. You just go here, choose upload, and crop it. And this is actually, you can find it on a lot of themes right under appearance, and you just go to header here. So 2 ways to get there. This format is available on a lot of themes, so you don't have to use this theme. You can use a different business theme, and you probably have that option. And now we want to deal with video. I'll just briefly, you know what, I self-hosted it, so I used a free plugin called FV WordPress Flow Player. You use shortcodes. I'm going to refer a lot, and you're going to see a lot of shortcodes. Shortcodes are just snippets of code that have these square brackets around it, and basically they provide a function. So, shortcodes, put the video here. Shortcodes, put in this grid here. So shortcodes are used a lot. This is just, if you're going to use this flow player, it tells you all the different little codes and the way you can format your video, and you just embed it. You need to self-host. You can self-host with Vimeo or Amazon S3. I use Amazon S3. Again, if you're using YouTube though, you just take the provided embed code from YouTube and put it in your site wherever you want your video to show up. That's super simple. Now I created a contact form that you've seen on the sidebar and on our contact page and pretty much all over the website. There are lots of forms you can use. I like this. It's a free WordPress plugin. It comes up like this. It's called Contact Form 7. There it is. That's what you type for when you're adding plugins. In my other course, the intro course on WordPress, I have a whole video about adding plugins, so if you can go and check that out if you're new to plugins. I have 2 forms set up, and you can customize them completely. This is my larger form where I have the phone number and fill in your message area, and I can change the size of that. You can totally customize it. And then you want to make sure you put the email to where the messages are going to go so that you actually receive the contact form inquiries. Once you create your form, here's that shortcode. We just take that and we put it wherever we want it, whether in the sidebar, on the contact page, and so forth. The other contact form was that short one that I didn't want the big message box, and I didn't want a subject. I just wanted name, email, phone number, and that was for giving away that free book. Now I have to do an additional thing here, and I haven't done it, but I need to add the email to the auto responder so that it will trigger. When somebody emails that autoresponder email, their name gets added to it automatically. So that's how you set that up. For email autoresponder, I use Aweber. There's so many out there. It's different than using Outlook. So if you're new to this whole email autoresponder thing, just do some Google searches and you'll figure out pretty quickly what that's all about. You don't have to do it again. Like I said, it's pick and choose what you want to do for your site. Now, setting up that slideshow, we want to add slides, and that's all we do. So we have only 2. You can add like 3, 4, 8, whatever you want. So we have our slide here. We'll go to the second slide, and it's very simple. All right, what I did is notice how I have layers, right? So we have our featured image. We set up like this. We just go to add, and then we upload the image that we want. It has to be 1920 pixels wide by 575 in height for this particular theme. If you use a different theme, your dimensions will be different. And then we just set the featured image and click down there at the bottom right, and we're done. And you want to see it show up there. So now we've got our background slider done. This is where we can add content on top of it, and that is so great. We could add that contact form here with that shortcode. I didn't do that, but instead I've got a button here, and then I've got this text here. And that's it. And then you just update it or publish it if it's the first time you're doing it, and you have your slides. And I've just done that for the 2 slides. Now maps. We added maps on the home page and on the contact page. And that was done with a free plugin. Again, the plugin is called Easy Map Press. So it's right down here. This shows up on every page, and I just create a new map. We'll just call it test 2. You can choose your dimensions or customize the dimensions. Choose a location and search, and there it is. And that's the size that'll show up currently. If that's what we want, we just click save. And then what you do is we need to get the shortcode. Just put our cursor up there, and we do insert into post. We get our shortcode. We can keep that in the post, or we can just cut it out of there or copy it and put that code wherever we want. And that's it. That's making a map. It's this Map Press plugin, and it's free. They have a pro version. I don't use that. The portfolio. Remember on our home page we had a big portfolio here. That is done under portfolio. And what I did is I created a bunch of portfolio elements. So we got a testimonial, and they go back and forth between testimonial case result because I wanted this sort of grid look. You can checker it, you can do all in one row and whatever. You just sort of got to plan how you upload it. So the first one I uploaded was this one. The last one, or the most recent one, was this one. So that's sort of how they go. They kind of go like that. So all I did was, this is just like the slide, the slider, is I select a featured image, which are my little images I made. I just made these with a simple little graphic tool, and I did it myself. I made them about 10-15 minutes, and then so make it a featured image. And then we've got these quotes here to show up on the actual page. And you'll see that if we go click into one of these things, that's the one I messed up, so I should probably fix that one. But it'll show up as a quote. We've got our little quote message, just not italicized. And that's it. And then you just add them, and then we have our whole portfolio all done up. But you want to make sure your images are right. I believe it's 260 by 200, or else 265 by 200. Yeah. And that's the size that will fit in there. I didn't try larger images. You can toy around with that. If you get the theme, they provide all the dimensions you need for your particular website anyway. Now, we did this free gift thing. Remember this free book thing? Okay, now we have it in 2 locations. We have it at the bottom of every page, and on the home page, we have it partway down the page. I used the same, as you can see, it's identical. All I did there was this. I created that image with the book cover. You got to get a book done or some free report or something like that. And I create a little table here. I did a table with this Tiny MCE plugin. It's right here, Tiny MCE Advanced, free plugin. So you can get a table on here, and you could add columns, rows. I just did 1 row, 2 columns, and I did it about 870 wide. Let's see, 750 wide. So I put this on the side and our contact form on the right on this cell here, and it puts them side by side. Very easy to do. I just created this. This is an image with the free gift and the book, and there, the arrow. I just created that with a very simple graphic software. And that's it. That's all I did. And then what I did to place it is I take the code. You want to take the HTML code like that rather than the visual editor code. And then we have it in two places. So the first place we have it is on the bottom of every internal page. And this tool is called Simple Hooks. Genesis Simple Hooks. Again, it's a plugin, and it's a free plugin. It only works for Genesis. If you're not using Genesis and you're using a different theme, you're not going to be able to have this feature here. So what I do is these hooks place content, whether images, text, whatever I want, tables, wherever I want to put them within the site. So this goes in the Genesis after hook content. So it shows up at the bottom, and here it is. And I want to execute shortcodes because I have that contact form in there, which is a shortcode. So it's right there, that shortcode. So I needed to execute that. Now, while we're here, why don't I just show you the other element. Remember this internal banner that I created? And you can create one with your firm, with the people in your firm, and you can put, talking points here or a telephone number, whatever you want. What I did is I created an image and I just uploaded it to my media in the website, in the WordPress website, and I also put it in a hook, but I put in a different hook because it's at a different location. It's at the top of every page and it's full width. So I did it in the Genesis after header box. And here it is. Here's the code. It's just a basic code to pull an image. And if you want to know, if you're like, how do I pull an image? How do I get a, you know what I do? I create all these draft posts. I don't publish them. Look at this. I've got all these, here's a top banner. See, they're all draft. So I just like drag and drop. So I upload the image, add media, I inserted it in here, and then I got my image, and then I just take the text. That's the code I need. That's it. It's as simple as that. So, rather than trying to code it from scratch. So back to our hooks. We go down, and we take that code, and we put it in here. And that's exactly what we did. But we've got some additional code here. Look at this. This is PHP code there and at the end. All right. What we want to do is we don't want that banner on the home page because we have the slideshow. We only want this to show up on every page but the home page. If I want it on every page, including the home page, I wouldn't need this PHP. And basically what this PHP is saying is put it everywhere but the home page. So if that's what you want to do, just use the same code there and underneath there. It's basically called a conditional. There's all sorts of conditionals. You can indicate just one page to put it on and so on and so forth. Anyways, that's what I did for the site, and that's how I get that banner on every page of the internal pages. The services, remember that grid I created, this table? Let me show you that. This is just such a great tool. I just love this thing, and I use it on a lot of sites. It's a plugin, but it's a paid plugin. You got to buy it. It's under 20 bucks. I think it's 15 or 20 bucks. And here it is. Look at this. Now it looks messy and it looks complicated, but it's not really. All right. It just has a lot of options. Here's my table I created. You can choose two different types of tables. I like table 1. I don't like table 2. And within table 1, I got 12 styles. Style 10 gives me the blue look, so I'm going with blue. You can change the number of columns and the number of rows. You can have that dynamic, see how it pops out like that? Or you can turn it off. We can make it responsive or not. I'll probably switch it to responsive after. Now here's our columns. This isn't a column. You can change the width of the columns, and that's what I wanted to do. Here's where our table begins. Now, for some reason, this row I couldn't get rid of, and it does this thing I didn't really like. So if you want to get rid of any particular row, just put a 0 for height and it won't show it. So here's where we start. We've got our top, and basically you choose a design. See a caption. Now if you're using table 1, stick to table 1, and same with your icons. So check this out. Basically these are your styles you have, and then you have different captions. So I used a free consultation, and it's in a nice large white font, and it's as simple as that. It's just a little bit of trial and error, playing around with this to get your to get your cells all formatted and sized properly. I had to change the height because I had 2 rows there for each box. And our X's, we just choose the style. I think we just went with style 1, and that was it. You can do X's, you can do whatever you want. And then buttons, right here. I just used a button green. I input the URL, free consultation, where I want to link to, and I'm done. It looks a lot more complicated than it is. You figure it out in no time, and you can create great looking boxes like this to profile your services. Social media. You'll notice, let's refresh this page. We want to get as much social media action as we can, and you'll see on the left here, I've resized the window here to fit the video, but you'll see I've got Twitter, and people can like the page, or they can add it to Google Plus or LinkedIn. You know, you're not going to get thousands of people to like your page in a short amount of time, but every single like and tweet and so forth is going to help. All I used for that was a free plugin called Dig. Here it is, Dig. You just install it in the normal fashion as a plugin, and you configure it, and you can set it out exactly where you want it to display on the left, and you can have it float. You see how it's floating? It stays with us as we scroll down. So that's it. That's all I used, and it's free. If you notice down on the home page, and we have these provide links to our social media pages, okay? And you're going to want to add that. Again, that's a plugin, and it's a free plugin, and it's under widgets. It's simple social icons, and this works with any theme. So does Dig. Dig works with any theme. So does Covert Messenger, that little pop-up box, works with any theme. A lot of these things. The table I just made, that with the services, works with any theme. Simple social icons. I just set that up. Here it is. And I just put in all our URLs there, and we're done. So you have each of your social media pages, just put in URLs, so then people come to your site, they can go check out your Facebook page and your Twitter profile and so forth for your firm. Now, I jumped into this widget page. Again, if you're not familiar with WordPress, this is going to look all confusing and so forth, so I encourage you to actually watch my widget video, and that'll get you familiar with this. But anyways, really, the widget page, we've got our primary sidebar, okay, which on the internal pages is this part right here. This is our main content page. But we also, on the home page, have all these widget zones. So most of those widget areas are going to be for the home page, and that's exactly what you see. Okay, we have a secondary sidebar because we can do a 3-column layout, but I didn't do that. Here it is. So we have home page, row 1, the big open section at the top. Then we have column 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Big open section underneath. And we have columns 1, 2, 3, and 4. So portfolio is not there. That's set up differently. Big open section here with our free book. Services, columns 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can also use the footers if you like. I don't use the footers. I don't think they look very good in this theme, but you can. And that's it. And you just add your content in there as you like. So I've got column 1, I've got the text there and images, and it takes HTML. So it's, you know, I've got my short codes, so I get the stylized list with the check marks. And you know, I've got my video, got everything. So that's how you basically load up your content. It takes a little bit of trial and error, moving stuff around to get your layout exactly as you want it. And at the bottom of this widget page, I have this contact page here. This is a new widget zone, and that's something I set up. Now, this feature is only with Genesis, and what it is it's Genesis Simple Sidebars. It's a plugin, so I added it as a plugin. It's a free plugin, and what I did is I created a new sidebar. And now, why would I want to do that? And I'll show you. Look, on every internal page, I've got a free consultation form there. But on my contact and my free consultation pages, I have the form here. and I don't want two forms because that's going to confuse people. I don't mind this form being here. It's a different form. It's sort of got a different purpose. It's not confusing. But a form here and a form there is confusing. So what I did is I created another sidebar, and that's here. So I created that here. I just named it, ID it, describe it. And then, so now I have a sidebar on my widgets. And I load it up, but I do not put the contact page in there. I just put our menu and a search, and I could add other things in there, but I kept that simple. And then what I do is when I go into my specific page, so I'm going to go into my contact page, down here I can choose which sidebar I want, and I chose the contact page. And so now I don't get a contact form on the side there. Now we're getting toward the end here. I know I'm ripping through a lot of features here in this video. I'm trying to just show you a lot of great features. So, if you of course, by all means, rewind and watch over and take notes. It's a lot of information. I appreciate that. This could be a multi-video course. The final thing I want to go over here is the short codes, how I set up these testimonials and the case results. Let me back up. I'm going to also show you how to do the blog. Okay, so what I did here, let's go to our testimonials page. Check this out. Short code, short code. But how do you know what the short codes are? Well, they give them to you. Look at this. This is for this theme only. Okay, this is not a universal WordPress thing. A lot of themes do have these types of style options, but they're all a little bit different. So we could add an info box, which we did for the case results. You get different styles. We could add a quote, which is what we did on this testimonials. Styled list is how we created those checkmark lists. We do a column layout so we could have columns within the content. We could create a divider in the content. We could add social media buttons here, but I use that dig. And we could add buttons too, like a click here button. Looks nice. I could have done that, but I created my own. So these are all style options you can add to your content, and it's great. And it's all short codes. So if you don't know what it is, just create it here. And then once you know the short codes, you can just, it's a lot faster just to copy and paste them. And that's it. And that's how we created those different style elements. Now, I think next is the last thing I'm going to show you. I keep saying that. Creating a blog page. We have a blog page right here. We've got our blog posts. And all I did for that is I created a new page. And I called it blog. And there it is. And there's no content in here. I did my SEO settings. Now SEO settings, I have a full SEO video on how to set this all up on the intro video course I refer to at b2web.com. You can check that out. What I did here is we have page templates right here. So I just created a new page called a blog, and I chose the blog page. Now you only want to make one of these because you only want one blog page, unless you're going to create different blog pages with different categories. You could certainly do that. And then that's it. And then I just published it, and then we created the blog page. I had to set it up in my menus. The intro video course has a full video on using these custom menus, so I'm not going to spend any time here, but I created different menus. We've got our top menu, and we have our sidebar menu. So I just created those two. That's it. I kept it really simple. And there's our blog. It's access to the blog. And that's it. So as you can see, every element is very simple to do. Pretty much drag and drop. And it's using this theme, but you can use any theme and you can get lots of beautiful sites. I use all types of themes. I've been using this one a lot, so I really wanted to profile this today, but a lot of what I talked about today can be done in any theme. So as you can see, WordPress, you can quickly build sites, and you're going to spend more time writing your content than actually getting this ship shape and adding all of these elements to it. And you can build multiple sites for your firm and go after different practice areas or just one site. It's totally up to you. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. I had lots of fun making it. I think this site turned out really well, so I'm really happy to profile it. So good luck with your WordPress website, and thanks for watching.